The prospect of owning a Tesla fills many of us with excitement, but the price point can seem a little high when compared to a similar combustion engine car. Have you ever wondered what the real cost is to Tesla ownership? We were wondering if the claims to earn your money back had any substance, so we set out to explore all the costs involved in owning a Tesla when compared to a conventional car. Let's jump right into it. We've landed on day one, purchase day. But which Tesla did we choose? The Model S ranges from $70,000 to $140,000, while the X, with less variants, sits between $80,000 and $100,000. The 3 and Y come in at $38,000 to $55,000 and are expected to be the company's best-selling segment. For the purpose of this video, we've gone for a mid-spec dual-motor Model 3 long range. We've now spent just under $47,000. Or have we? For this particular car, we found over 10 potential incentives in the US alone, the best of which was offered by California. They come in at $5,000, $2,000 and $1,000 flavors, as well as the smaller $850 offering. Other states that offer incentives are New Jersey at $5,000, Colorado at $4,000, Oregon, Massachusetts, Louisiana and Delaware with $2,500, and Maine and New York with $2,000. Vermont also offers a $5,000 rebate for eligible models with a sub-$40,000 base price. Good news for our UK-based viewers too. This Model 3 is eligible for a government grant up to £3,000, but don't worry if we haven't mentioned your circumstances just yet. There are plenty of other hyper-localized offerings around the world. Let's assume you were unfortunate enough not to be eligible for any grant or rebate. Did you pay the full $46,990 in one go, or are you signed up to Tesla's lease or loan plans? Leasing promises a new car after each term of rental, and with a mandatory $1,300 down payment, you'd be looking at around $610 per month spread over 3 years. Maybe you want to own the vehicle by the end, but need the financial flexibility of monthly installments, then the 4-year plan will set you back around $1,050 a month with no down payment. You've parted with $47,000 or thereabouts, but life goes on as normal. You commute to work, to the shops, to visit family and friends. This soon mounts up. In fact, the average American drives some 10,000 to 15,000 miles each year. Let's just assume, for the purpose of calculation, that you're going to drive a nice round figure of 10,000 miles a year. Tesla estimates a $715 annual saving, based on its estimates of $2.85 per gallon of gasoline, 13 cents per kilowatt-hour of electricity, and a 28 miles per gallon average. But any good investigative piece of research doesn't take the company's word for it, and we're not going to. We calculated a similar £515 saving under a British-based scenario, comparing a Tesla Model 3's estimated 353 range with a hyper-efficient 65 miles per gallon diesel car. It's worth noting that vehicle excise duty, often known as car tax, is usually unfavourable for cars over £40,000 in the UK, but EVs are exempt, so we're not incurring any charges here. But we're not done yet. That petrol or diesel car of yours, it's time for a full service and oil change. An annual celebration of the engine, if you like. We're talking upwards of $300 here. Servicing for a Tesla? Besides from a few moving parts, there's actually very little to maintain. The company's 8-year battery warranty, which will cover 100, 120 or 150,000 miles depending on model, ensures at least 70% battery capacity. A 2019 tweet saw Tesla CEO Elon Musk state that these cars are designed for a million-mile life, with current battery modules lasting 300 to 500,000 miles. Replacing these modules costs $5,000 to $7,000, but we're not going to include that unlikely cost in our calculations because, at a similar mileage, a combustion engine will either need a full makeover, a rebuild, or retirement. Nevertheless, a 2018 tweet shows a Tesla gearbox at 1 million miles in good condition. Steve Sassman is testament to these claims, and you may just have heard of him. In 2015, he completed a 27,615-mile road trip in his Model S, visiting 48 US states and Canada. It was powered almost entirely for free by the Supercharger network. He writes that the entire journey cost him $8.37 in fuel for the 2 times he had to rely on standard charging over the Tesla network. 2018 saw another road trip, just 12,100 miles in 42 states, this time split between a Model S and 3. In this time, he visited all 107 stores and met more than 500 employees. He believes there is a Tesla somewhere out there with over 700,000 miles on the clock. Now, this is all well and good, but what's happening with our calculations? Because we're just averaging 10,000 miles a year. Car buying tendencies show ownership lasts usually 5 to 9 years, with this reducing thanks to new leasing options. Well, let's compare the 3 to a similarly spec'd premium brand, the BMW 330i sedan. You can get a mid-spec 3 Series for about $6,000 less than our mid-spec 3 model, which is almost outweighed by our best incentive of $5,000. So the BMW just about wins, right? Show over? Well, not quite. Take that $300 annual engine service and $715 annual fuel saving into consideration, and over a period of, let's say, 5 years, that's more than $5,000 better off. Oh, and one last thing. If you're thinking the Model 3 could be just out of reach, Musk recently announced plans for a sub-$25,000 car. Imagine these savings compared to a conventional gasoline car, but amplified. So in essence, the mighty Tesla takes victory once again. Environmental accolades, driving thrill, and this time, cost of ownership. Is there anything that Tesla can't do? Let us know and we might just investigate it.